Hey guys, it's Brandy, and I wanted to talk to you guys today a little bit about what we do when we go food shopping. So I'm hoping that it'll give you guys a little tips and hints on how we make our meals, and maybe give you guys some suggestions on what you could do for yours. We have a really big breakfast in the morning, and we do our Shakeology at night. So we kind of work our way through our meal planning that way. In the morning we have 2 eggs pretty much every day. So we get organic ones from one of the supermarkets we found that has the least amount of price, so we decided might as well try to bulk up on those. So we tend to get a couple of dozen. Like I said, we both have 2 apiece. So with that, we typically have and that's your protein. So 2 eggs are red, so that's your protein for the morning. Along with, we do a fish, wild caught. This time around we got salmon. And we're going to do it with honey and ginger, which is actually a really good breakfast. And then we have a green along with that. So we typically will do a sauteed green with onions. So this time around we got some frozen organic spinach. Just because it was on sale, we decided why not, because that can just sit in the freezer in case we need something in the end. We got 2 big heads of Swiss chard. And we're going to saute those up, and we're either going to do a frittata, or we'll make these with just greens and your onions and maybe some chopped up garlic and seasonings. Then we also have a yellow, which is either sweet potatoes, I have a sweet potato, or we'll do, we picked up some oatmeal, which is steel cut, and we try to get organic. And you know, make sure that they say, if you are gluten-free, make sure it says gluten-free. Sometimes oatmeal is naturally gluten-free. You just have to make sure it's not being processed in the same facility or somewhere with gluten. So that usually covers, we normally will do a big batch of oatmeal and our sweet potatoes. So with the sweet potatoes, we either usually chop them up, put some seasonings on them, so we make them kind of like a breakfast potato, or we just wrap them up in tin foil, throw them in, and then Bo gets half in the morning, and I get half in the morning. And then we're sauteing the greens and the onions in coconut oil. It's got a higher temperature, to cook at, so it's better to cook in this than, say, olive oil. And just make sure you guys aren't cooking in any canola oil or any hydrogenated oils, so just be careful of that. Then we also have a fruit. So we typically will do like half a grapefruit for your purple. But this time around we're going to do, we found cantaloupe on sale, and we found pineapple on sale. So we're going to do those. We'll fill up the purple container for our fruit that morning. We also do coffee, and instead of putting a creamer in it, we actually have gotten really used to using the cashew milk. It's a little bit thicker than, say, an almond milk or coconut milk, and it just acts more like a creamer to us. It turns it that creamer color, which is perfect. And then we also use stevia to sweeten it with, if we want to sweeten it. Then we have our afternoon snack, which typically is apples. So we get them organic. You'll hear me talk a lot about the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. Apples are on the top of that Dirty Dozen, so make sure you guys are getting those organic if you can. And then for lunch we do our mason jar salads, which you've probably seen us do. I found a whole chicken at one of the grocery stores on sale. It's organic. We popped it in the crock pot overnight, and then I shredded it this morning. So that one's ready to go, and we're going to put the shredded chicken in the red container, and then we're just going to throw it in the mason jar, and then we'll add our vegetables on top of that, which are your tomatoes, and onions, and then any other kind of vegetables that you may want. But just make sure you're putting them in the green container, because you want to stay within what your daily allowance is. So for myself, I get 1, so I put the greens and the other vegetables in it, throw it in. Bo gets 2, so he gets, I normally do 1 full thing of greens, and then 1 full thing of the extra vegetables. So for our greens, we'll get whatever's on sale, because we really want to try to get greens organic. So we get bib lettuce, this time around we got bib lettuce, we got red leaf lettuce, we got romaine, and green leaf lettuce. So they were all on sale, so we decided to get all of them. We find about, you get 2.5-ish, 3 servings out of a head of lettuce, depending on how big it is for the green container. Then for salad dressing, we use for the orange container, might remember the orange containers for your salad dressing, olive oil, we'll get apple cider vinegar, and then we'll put some seasonings in it. So salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. Sometimes we'll put a mustard in there. I will be giving some extra recipes out during this challenge group, so just let you know, it'll be there for you. Then we have carrots and celery for our afternoon snack. We get organic, especially celery. You should be getting organic because it's on the Dirty Dozen. I believe carrots may be as well, but we just get them because they're not that much of a price difference. So we get them organic. And then hummus, which I'm not seeing on the table, but we get, oh, here it is. So we get hummus. And what I normally do is I look for this on sale and the least amount of ingredients on the back. So this one has olive oil, chickpeas, roasted peppers, tahini, citric acid, sea salt, and paprika. So make sure you guys are getting the least amount of ingredients. So soybean oil, hydrogenated oils, sugars, just make sure that those aren't in there. If you find it on sale, these are actually organic and non-GMO, or actually non-GMO. So make sure if you find them on sale, they freeze. So we put them in, if we find them on sale, we'll freeze them and good to go when you defrost them. Okay, so some of the other things that we get, we try to make some crock pot meals just in case, so in the future, if we are in a bind and we just can't get to around cooking, we'll have stuff in the freezer. So butternut squash soup is coming up in the crock pot. We picked up some coconut milk to go in it, and chicken broth, organic chicken broth, but we're also making bone broth out of the chicken stock, or out of the chicken bones that we made earlier. So since they're organic, might as well make a bone broth out of them. Also, we picked up a spaghetti squash, so we're going to make spaghetti squash in a crock pot as well, with a tomato sauce that we picked up some tomatoes, chopped tomatoes and tomato sauce, organic, and we picked up some organic pork to make the meatballs out of. Typically we don't do pork, but we found it on sale. We said, why not? It's organic. Try it out. If not, typically this would be either a really lean beef or chicken or turkey. So one other thing I wanted to mention was coconut or almond milk. When you guys are checking this stuff out, make sure it doesn't have carrageenan in it. It's not a very nice ingredient, so when you're picking out your coconut oil or coconut milk or your cashew milk, just make sure that that's not in there. Silk does not have it, Almond Breeze does, just a tip. And we did pick up a couple extra veggies just to have them on hand. Zucchini squash, which I can make chips out of, and some asparagus with, if we wanted to have breakfast, or maybe chop it up and put it in our salads. So I hope that helps guys a little bit. I'll be explaining a little bit more throughout the challenge group, and I hope that it shows. All right, talk to you soon.